All right, Rick Perry saying there's nothing there. There's no sinister intentions or plot behind his resigning as the Energy Secretary of the United States. Still, the revolving door at the White House continues, and that would seem to make it tough to find order between the secretaries for whom we have yet to find replacements. So you have acting secretaries, acting representatives, even in the case of Mick Mulvaney, still technically an acting chief of staff. To the Independent Women's Forum Director of Policy, Hadley Heath Manning. You know, Hadley, this isn't, altogether new in a White House. Maybe the speed of departures is, but I see it in corporate America a great deal. But there are quickly replacements available. Here, not so fast. What do you make of this?
Well, it's certainly a characteristic of this administration, which has always been from the beginning, billing itself as an administration led by an outsider. President Trump's certainly not an establishment politician. Sometimes his policy direction is very specific, might differ from the party line on Republican or Democrat sides. And so the pool of candidates for these high-profile jobs can be rather small. He's looking specific, for a very specific type of person. I will say in the case of Rick Perry, the Secretary of Energy job, here's one of the original cabinet members.
That's right.
So in that position, there hasn't been a lot of turnover.
He and
but
Ben
certainly
Carson, right,
more
at
broadly.
HUD. I mean, there's some of the originals here. But it is a tough, it's a pressure cooker, to put it mildly. We know working with this president, and it can be a tension convention and just all the media scrutiny that it seems to just gather. But I'm wondering, those who are interested in those jobs, is it difficult to find them? How would you define what's going on?
Well, I would say, in terms of the turnover, of course, you use the term revolving door. That's a very negative picture, and turnover does bring with it some instability.
I could use just a standard door that opens and closes a lot, but I mean, I see what you're saying.
Right, but my point is that there is an upside to turnover, and that is that sometimes it's a function of accountability. When people are in high-profile political appointee jobs, there's a lot of pressure on these jobs, and for good reason. They're supposed to serve the people of the United States, serve at the pleasure of the U.S. president. And if they're not doing the job, or if there's some scandal, or if there's a problem with how they're executing the president's agenda, he should have the ability to replace them.
But
that's why we do see a lot of turnover in corporate America.
No, I hear, but do you ever think there's something to whether they want to be in that pressure cooker, and that they see what happens when an official leaves the administration, whether it's John Bolton or Jim Mattis at Defense, and then they're ripped apart after the fact, so much so that, Mattis responds last night, to joke back at the president and zing him over his lack of military experience, that people think, loyalty works both ways.
Yeah, these jobs are not for the people with a weak stomach, or people who are not, willing to accept all that comes with it. And I think they know that going in, which is one reason why it may be difficult to find the right candidates and to keep the right candidates in these jobs. But there is a problem in our administration, in the administrative state in particular, where actually some bureaucrats are too difficult to fire, and they're not exposed to the same level of public scrutiny. People who work in these departments led by different cabinet secretaries who are political appointees. I'm talking about the people who have been in Washington for far too long. So even though high turnover can be a very negative thing, it can also be the case that people in government jobs who have a lot of power as bureaucrats actually don't have the same level of turnover and aren't being replaced in order to sort of execute the will of the president and execute a policy agenda that the people of the United States voted for.
And they're the real worker bees, because they see the political types come and go, but they're there forever. Well put, Hadley. Always good seeing you. Have a great weekend.